I'm not just a bitch. I'm a bitch with a backstory.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that.
So Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson drop an exclusive interview together on July 22nd. Jordan Peterson tweeting out, "My conversation with Elon Musk live today at 3 p.m. And they get into a lot of hard-hitting topics. But what we're talking about today is the gender-affirming care.
The so-called gender-affirming care, which is a terrible euphemism.
That's for sure.
It's really a child sterilization. Is what it should be.
No.
It's child mutilation and sterilization.
Yeah, under the guise of gender-affirming care and compassion.
Right.
Right.
So Elon and Jordan state their frustrations with the idea of gender-affirming care, which is something where patients come in who are having issues with their outside physical traits and their gender identity.
Right.
It's evil.
Literally
I think
can't
it's evil.
imagine anything worse than that.
Elon taking issue especially with underage kids.
I mean, you're taking kids who are obviously often far below the age of consent.
Yep. Confused, miserable.
Yes. The reality is that almost every child goes through some kind of identity crisis.
It's part of puberty.
Exactly. It's just part of growing up.
So Elon gets into the fact that children growing up under 18 usually go through these crises where they don't know who they are, you know? There's a lot of fashion choices, a lot of things that kids may change their mind on when they get older. And he says that adults take advantage of that and do life-changing surgeries like double mastectomies, getting rid of the breasts, etc.
So it's very possible for adults to manipulate children who are having a natural identity crisis into believing that they are the wrong gender.
Yep.
And that will solve their problems. And then they give them sterilizing drugs, which are called also a misnomer, puberty blocker. These are sterilization drugs, so they can never have children again.
Yeah.
Can have double mastectomies, the mutilation.
They have their forearms stripped to build non-functioning penises.
Yeah, it's macabre.
And then Elon talks about the fact that children under 18 can't consent to a variety of things. Sex with older partners, tattoos, drinking.
I mean, we have an age of consent for a reason. That the reason you can't get, say, tattoos below age 18, or drink, or drive, you know, there are ages at which you can do things, because if we allow children to take permanent actions when they're 10, 12, 14 years old, they will do things that they subsequently greatly regret.
But then things get pretty controversial, as Elon's ex-wife, Canadian author Justine Musk, whom he's had children with, one specifically Xavier Musk, who reportedly came out as transgender to her aunt when she was 16 years old, telling her aunt to keep her gender identity away from Elon, saying, "Hey, I'm transgender and my name is now Jenna. Don't tell my dad." Then eventually adopted her mother's name Justine at the age of 18 in 2022, and then went through a sex change procedure with father Elon's consent at the time.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier.
Elon seemingly at the time supporting transgenders, saying on Twitter, "I absolutely support trans, but all these pronouns are an aesthetic nightmare." But now in recent times, in this interview, is expressing his distaste in what happened with Xavier.
This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. You know, I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he didn't.
That was a lie right from the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. If there's a higher suicide rate, the reason is because of the underlying depression and anxiety, and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too.
So not only does Elon feel tricked about the whole situation, but is also saying that he thought his son at the time was suicidal and felt manipulated by the doctor.
I lost my son, essentially. So, you know, they call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
all right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead.
But then one of the big statements from Elon referring to the term dead naming, which is by stating somebody's old name before their transition, saying that his son is essentially dead.
So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And we're making some progress.
So obviously, Elon is making some bold claims here. He's not happy that Xavier transitioned at 18. Now, Elon, on the same day of the interview, actually made this statement saying Xavier was born gay and slightly autistic, two attributes that contribute to gender dysphoria. I knew that from when he was about 4 years old, and he would pick out clothes for me to wear like a jacket and tell me it was fabulous, as well as his love for musicals and theater, but he was not a girl. And well, Vivian Justine responded saying this.
It is Vivian Wilson. I'm just gonna come on here and say that I'm doing well. I'm doing fine, actually. And I am formulating a response and whatnot. It's being worked on. It's being worked on. Just hold your goddamn horses for 5 more seconds, okay? I promise it's getting worked on.
No. That's me if I gave a fuck, but girl, which flag? The one.
So at 19 years old, she legally changes her gender to female and her name from Xavier to Vivian Wilson, revealing in the court filings that she no longer wishes to be related to Musk in any way. And in this interview with NBC News, she states, I think he was under the assumption I wasn't going to say anything and I would just let this go unchallenged, which I'm not going to do, because if you're going to lie about me like blatantly to an audience of millions, I'm not just going to let that slide. She claims he was cold, he was very quick to anger, he is uncaring and narcissistic, saying, I was in 4th grade. We went on this road trip that I didn't know was actually just an advertisement for one of the cars. I don't remember which one. And he was constantly yelling at me viciously because my voice was too high. She said it was cruel. I no longer live with or wish to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form. So now it's clear that Vivian wants nothing to do with Elon, and Elon is pretty unhappy with his daughter's transition. But in recent times, a user made a post saying, even though Elon Musk was super busy, he still made time for his family. Nothing is more important than family. Showing Elon with some of his kids in this photo, Elon responding saying, all 5 boys super happy. So then Vivian replies to that post on Threads, a competitor to X, saying, look, I don't know if you genuinely believe this or if you live in your own delusional fantasy land, and frankly, I don't care. It seems to me like you're trying to rebuild your brand image as the caring paternal father, which I will not let go unchallenged. If I'm going to be honest, this is absolutely pathetic. You just won't stop lying about me in interviews, books, social media, etc. Thank God you're absolutely terrible at it, because otherwise this would be significantly more difficult. Now, Elon Musk, who definitely is portraying the family man these days, and also showing a lot of fascination with Christianity, tweeting out saying, unless there is more bravery to stand up for what is fair and right, Christianity will perish. Now, Justine Musk, formerly known as Justine Wilson, which is where Vivian got her last name, seems to be very supportive of this decision. Vivian saying her mother's very supportive and she loves her a lot. Even Elon's ex-girlfriend Grimes tweeting out saying, I love and am forever endlessly proud of Vivian. Elon having potentially 12 children. 3 with Grimes as well. The dude is spreading his genes. But yeah, this whole thing is pretty intense. There's a part of me that agrees with Elon, you know, kids under 18, the consent thing is definitely not there. So there is an argument to, you know, what can and can't they consent to. But then again, at the end of the day, parental consent to plastic surgery is a thing under 18. So there's also that. It's really up to the parents. It's not necessarily a thing where doctors can just force you into it. These people have to agree. Maybe or maybe not, they do get tricked. I don't know. But once somebody's past 18, I say shoot for the stars, you know? Elon is free to disagree with transitioning. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think about this story. Whether you guys agree with Vivian or Elon, let me know in those comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys know the drill. Ta-ta for now.